Welcome everyone, Shank Club NFL. I'm your boy Nick. If you'd like to hit that like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell, you'll get to know when we're going live. If you want to contact and stay in touch, we are on Twitter at Shank Club NFL. We're on Instagram at Shank Club NFL as well. Great to have you along today. We're going to be talking Week 3's obviously already started with Thursday Night Football. We're going to touch on that. And without further ado, here he is. He's now come in shot, so that must mean he's ready. My co-host, as ever, Carl. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. A little bit of a hectic morning for me today, but apart from that, all set, ready to go for another week of the NFL season. And well, yeah, anybody who watched that glorified shit show on Thursday night, well, you got more, you got more substance to that than what I have. So,
yeah, it didn't. I haven't seen it yet or any of the highlights, but obviously we know that the crapshoot that is Mitch Trubisky, I would definitely say now is in the hot seat. The QB show wasn't that great. The offense apparently didn't seem that good. He was missing wide open receivers. A few of the comments, Freddie, bless his heart, didn't seem very happy. I've seen a lot of people a lot worse with their overreactions, but Freddie, being Freddie, was very reserved and basically said it wasn't very good. But yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be a long. Well, we said this, didn't we? You know, how long has Tomlin had a? He hasn't had a losing record, has he ever in Pittsburgh? I don't think.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. But this could be a season where that happen. Let me just bring up the Steelers' schedule, because their schedule now after next week's game against the Jets. This is their next lot of run-ins. Okay, so they're on the road to the Bills. They're at home to the Buccaneers, away to the Dolphins, away to the Eagles, home to the Saints, and then at home to the Bengals. Where the hell are you going to find a win out of that lot?
Well, the way the Bungles are playing, mate.
Well, probably
you don't know where that leads to, you know. But I think sooner rather than later there is going to be a QB change, and we'll see the.
There has to be. That Mike Tomlin is trying to be the arrogant, deaf tone type of coach who said definitively no, there's going to be no quarterback change. There wasn't going to be any callback change. There wasn't going to be any callback change in this game because it was too much of a short week. They've now got 10 days to evaluate this and actually understand that, okay, the Jets maybe are only next winnable game. But from that minute on, we are the underdog in every single game.
Definitely. But then you see, I know we can say, oh, it's only the Jets, but they had a big win last week. So it's one of those, isn't it, where any game's winnable, any game's losable. It just depends which team turns up. I mean, you've only got to look at that Ravens game from last week that we spoke about on Thursday. It was madness. No one would have said the Ravens were going to lose it from that position. And lo and behold, they did. Seen a couple of things on the injury report. Herbert has got damaged ribs, broken ribs, apparently. And he's questionable.
He was down as questionable. Chase Daniels, beg your pardon. He was taking first team reps in training on yesterday. I mean,
the thing is with injury reports, though, and the way that it's sort of like put out there, 9 times out of 10, the players play when they're questionable, doubtful, etc. And I know, but I wouldn't say by law, but the rules of the game state you have to put players on an injury report, which is quite bizarre when you look at how badly dinged up he was. And these guys still want to go out there and play. And I mean, I don't think it means anything that he didn't take first team reps as such, because he knows the drill, right? He knows the plays. He knows that. So keep him rested. What's the if he's got a chance to play, why put him through, even doing a walkthrough, when he doesn't really need to do it?
No, I agree.
And that's the other thing as well, obviously, with the Niners now. Jimmy did not practice. Didn't do anything in training camp, didn't do anything in OTAs, apparently didn't have a playbook or an iPad to throw around like Tom Brady and break. But, these players, they know the plays, they know the verbiage, they know what to do and audible out of things and all that. So I don't think it really matters that he isn't practicing, to be honest. And if he can play, he'll play. That's one thing about the injury report. Whenever it comes out, it always makes it, you always say, oh God, he's not going to play. And then you watch the NFL pregame show and lo and behold, he's starting. So that's the only thing with the injury report that always mystifies me. Another talking point in 49ers Twitter land. George Kittle back. Only reason he's come back, and apparently he's come back early, is because his mate Jimmy's QB and he didn't want to play if Trey was behind centre. And oh dear,
I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe at that, because I believe that Kittle's injury, I think he was going to be out for the first 4 games. I don't think he was on IR, but I think he was going to be out for the first 4 games.
Well, they said 3 weeks, and he did it the week before the season started. So technically, this is his 4th week, week 3. So he should be back. But again, people are surmising because it's his mate and he's the one in the locker room that's causing all the shit because he wasn't behind Trey Lance. He didn't want Trey Lance, blah, 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 and all that conspiracy theory nonsense. And now his mate Jimmy's under centre and at the controls. That's it. He's coming back and he's healthy.
Now he's come back in. It is quite ironic. It is quite, quite suspicious and quite ironic, if I'm honest. But Kittle was injured to start the season with, so take that. I take that with a pinch of salt, frankly. Kittle's back. You got the best tight end in the game back. So there should be no excuses now on you not to beat the Donkeys tomorrow night.
Well, indeed. Although they do worry me because they have a certain little pipsqueak playing QB for them. And over the years, he's had our number. Yes, he's in a different city, saying, "Let's ride Broncos," and all that other green screen shit. And he is still Mr. Cornball, but you have to respect the guy, and I do hate him. I'm just flicking through the injury report, and there doesn't really. I'm just at the Lions and Vikings. DeAndre Swift, ankle. Hopkinson, hip. They are questionable. And I think the actual Ravens game plan should be listed officially as questionable for this game. Especially
they're banged up. They are banged up massively. One thing I did look at, because obviously I checked the Patriots report because it also brings up the Ravens one as well. The tackle Stanley, he is doubtful. That basically means he ain't gonna make it. That's huge. You lose one of your best tackles in a game where this defense of the Patriots is actually really good at pass rushing. That's going to be a problem.
Not only that, you've also it sort of not only pass pro, but obviously blocking for running as well. You know, you get into a chemistry with the two guys either side of you, and you open the holes up, get into the second level, etc. So that can have a thing. Who have you got that's questionable? No one really. Joshua Bledsoe playing safety for the Patriots.
Safety. Yeah, he's depth chart on the safety, so it's not really a huge loss. Questionable, we got Bledsoe. So defensive back Cody Davis, he'll probably play. Kyle Duggar with knee. He was limited in practice on Friday, didn't practice on Wednesday or Thursday. I think there's a chance he could miss the game. Godchu with back, he probably plays. Myers, he probably will play. Jalen Mills with a hamstring injury. That could be a problem. Because our quarter depth is already a big problem as already is. Safety Adrian Phillips ribs, he'll probably play anyway. So, but yeah, Ronnie Stanley for the tackle for the Ravens is a doubtful. That's massive for them. They can't afford to have any more injuries right now. They could possibly get J.K. Dobbins. They could get J.K. Dobbins back for this game. So that might be something to keep an eye on.
You do get injuries quite early in the season as well, and then they tend to sort of level out because obviously there's nothing can prepare you for you can train as much as you like and play pre-season pat a cake half speed games, but nothing prepares you for the regular season. And obviously you go full speed. You probably get more injuries in training camps, etc., when they're not going full speed than you do actually in games, because you get a lot of non-contact injuries and things like that.
Yeah, you do.
Which is really strange. But yeah, no. So week 3 obviously started Thursday night football. And as we said, I think if Trubisky stinks it up again, and it's really weird, right? Because they obviously acquired him, so they've seen something in him that they like. Now, when I watched them last Sunday, it looked like a younger version of the Roethlisberger without the rape, as in same plays. There was no difference. It was all underneath.
And dunk, 5 to 10 yard ducks. That's really all he's referring to. He did make a couple of deep shots down the field. I think the catch by George Pickens, that was just sublime. That was the only good thing coming out of that offense was Pickens with that catch. Odell Beckham-esque. That was just unbelievable. What I don't understand is in that game, right? It's only a few seconds left on the clock. I think it was something like 9 seconds left on the clock. You're literally backed up inside your own 5. Trubisky got a pass off to Deontay Johnson. And instead of Johnson, because this is what I would have done as a play caller, I wouldn't have gone for a lateral. Why would you go for a lateral? You're so far outside of your own. It barely ever works. Okay, the Miami Miracle was something fucking freaky. That's something like that will not happen for a long while. But laterals don't really work in the NFL. So what I would have as the play caller, I would probably have got it to Johnson and quickly got him out to the sideline about the 20, 25 yard line. It then gives you about 2 or 3 seconds left on the clock. And then at least it gives you a 10% chance to launch a humongous Hail Mary into the end zone. And if you do come down with it, you win the game.
Yeah, it's some.
It was dumb play calling by Mike Canada. It was so dumb.
are a bit questionable. I mean, one of the interceptions that the Niners had against the Sea Chickens, where the running back threw it, who has never been a quarterback, and he literally, I don't know if you've seen it, but he literally throws it to the linebacker. He literally doesn't even get air on it. He doesn't set his feet, doesn't do anything. He just literally tried to just dink it over, and he got no power on it, no height on it, and it just went straight to the corner. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was pathetic. But you see, again, in that situation, when that happens,
but
surely you just take a knee and take the ball, get a touchback, and take it out to the 20-yard line. I know he was all excited because he caught the pick, but then he ran out at about the 4-yard line, which is a bit weird in hindsight, because I watched it again and I'm thinking, why didn't you just take a knee in the end zone, get the ball out to the 20-yard line? Bizarre. And yeah, there's some of these plays, and there was a couple. I did see a couple of flea flickers going on. I can't remember in what games, but I do. That's one of my favourite trick plays. Is the old flea flicker. I do like that. You don't see many reverses. I haven't seen a reverse for quite a while, and they're quite good when executed well. But I do like. Yeah, I must admit, I do like a flea flicker. Especially when it works.
Yeah, I think a good game should be given to Nick Chubb as well, because he had an outstanding game. 113 yards rushing, scored a touchdown as well on 23 carries. The guy's a monster. The guy's an absolute monster. This is the This is in the 5th year in a row where he's trying to average 5 yards a carry for the last 5 years. That's consistency, really good consistency. So yeah, Nick Chubb deserves a good pat on the back. Jacoby Brissett, I thought Brissett had a really solid game. I don't think he did anything wrong. He made some nice passes to Amari Cooper and to David Njoku. I thought Brissett had a decent game, which is quite surprising because Cleveland are now sitting in a position now where they go 2-1. And all this talk about they may not now make the playoffs because I think now Deshaun Watson's gone. Brissett is just being a game manager and is actually controlling this offense actually really, really well. So I think we need to pump the brakes a second with regarding of Cleveland, whether or not they make the playoff, whether they can't make the playoffs. Because I actually think you continue with this running game of Chubb and Hunt and just play action.
What's their if you pull up their schedule a minute and let's just go up to give it the next 6 or 7 game, because he's got an 11 game ban. Is that right?
Deshaun Watson will be back in week 13, but there's no guarantee that Deshaun Watson will probably come back and play lights out. You saw what he did in preseason? It weren't great. It weren't pretty.
No, but then it doesn't really matter, does it? Preseason is just smoke and mirrors. It's not real. It doesn't really exist.
Right. Okay. So, right, here we go. So the next game will be on the road to the Falcons. Probably a W there. Home to the Chargers. Home to the Patriots. On the road to the Ravens, divisional game. Home to the Bengals, divisional game. the next 3 games is probably going to be a loss. So they're on the road to the Dolphins, on the road to the Bills, then they're at home to the Buccaneers. There's a 3 straight losses there. On the road to the Texans, depending on which Texans team turns up.
On the road to one, I think.
Then you're on the road to the Bengals, at home to the Ravens, home to the Saints on Christmas Eve. Then your last 2 games on the road to the Commanders, and then a road game against the Steelers.
As you said, he's only got to manage the game, right?
Yeah.
And just do enough and rely on the run game and the defense has been okay. I mean, it hasn't been spectacular. That's all right, Scott. We forgive you. We know you got to work an extra shift at McDonald's and you have to use that as an excuse. It's fine. But thanks for letting us know. There are some winnable games there. But as you say, and again, with regards to going back to the 49ers and obviously the devastating injury that Trey suffered, and heal up, Trey. Hope to see you back next year. Jimmy's only got to manage the game, rely on that defense and the running game, and not be completely Jimmy-esque, shall we say.
Yeah. And
they can make the playoffs. Jimmy's going to be Jimmy. Although I did watch, I'm trying to think of the guy's name, did a film breakdown. Josh Putnam, that's right. And he does like the 49ers all 22, breaks the plays down, etc. And he actually was quite impressed with what he'd seen, some of the early throws of Jimmy, and that he seems to have got more velocity back on it, and his ball placement was good. A couple of them were dropped. But yeah, Brissett has just got to game manage his way through it. And Cleveland just being Cleveland, they could quite possibly lose all those fucking games, and no one would be surprised.
Yeah, you're right on that one. I think that is the case. I think they could pull off some really surprising wins, but they could also shit the bed, as we just seen what they did against the Jets last week. So
isn't it funny that and we all do it, right? We're all homers for our team. And, they must have thought that they're forgetting the allegations and what he was guilty of and not guilty of. When they got Deshaun Watson and added him to the roster, they must have thought that their Christmases, birthdays, anniversaries, bar mitzvahs, everything rolled into one had come to town. And, the hope in that city must have been amazing. And obviously then he's got banned, and it's, it's like having an injured, your star player gets injured or a star player gets injured, and you think the world has fallen out from under you. And then all of a sudden sorry, it's all right, Scott, obviously the soccer game isn't that great because he's obviously just served a couple of cheeseburgers in the drive-through, and he just managed to get this comment in: smoke and mirrors, Steelers and the Panthers are no good. But then did we honestly think that the Panthers were going to be any good just because of the change of QB?
A lot of people did. I think a lot of people thought Baker Mayfield was very harshly treated when he was in Cleveland.
But surely Matt Rule's got to be on the hot seat already.
It has to be.
Matt Rule
and Ben McAdoo, both of them.
But yeah, it's really weird how, and again, 49ers, some certain people saying, 2 Super Bowls within the next 4 years and this, that and the other because of Trey, and Trey goes down injured, and you've got the best backup QB in the league coming in who knows the system, etc. And it's like they're all jumping off cliffs. And you just think, it's I know it's a team sport, and I don't know why people put so much stock into one person. But this game has always been a next man up mentality, right? And it will always be that way. And one player doesn't make a team. You could say, you've only got to look at some of the QBs that are playing at the moment, and then you think, shit, well, if our QB goes down, look who's behind him. And I think that's one of the reasons why the Niners kept Garoppolo, and they were going to keep him all along. And it wasn't from I don't think it was from an injury perspective if something happened to Trey. I think it was more, a serious injury, or, I don't think they were ever going to bench him for bad play, because, I saw flashes of what he can do. But I think it was more because he is he's not a pocket passer. He's not a Lamar Jackson or anything like that. He does a bit of both, and these guys can get injured. So why not have a good insurance policy behind him? Because I don't think Sudfeld was ever going to do it. And
No,
Purdy, as good as people want him to be or make him out to be, there's a reason why he was drafted as Mr. Irrelevant. There is a reason for that. And it's just, I don't think we're ever going to find out the full conspiracy, because all through the off season, we've said he can seek a trade, he can do this, he can do that. And I kept saying, they're going to keep him. They're going to keep him. And the amount of shit I took, you're racist. You don't want Trey to be any good. You don't want this. You don't want that. Why would you want to keep? I said, because he's an insurance policy. The kid's raw still. And it's a shame that his this injury has put him back another year, because he's played 3 games in the NFL, 2.5, 3.5, whatever it is. And he didn't play the year before that, and he played 14 games, I think, in his final year at college. So that's not many games in quite a few years. And questions will be asked, I think people will start questioning him if he makes it back. Does he want to come back because of the way he's been treated and the way his teammates aren't behind him, and all these other fishy rumours and stuff? He's probably not even come off the medication yet of, pain meds, and they're already doubting him. It's just a weird, he should seek a trade. That's another one. He should seek a trade. The way he's been treated, the way Kyle's run him into the ground. It's an RPO. He chose to keep that ball and run where he did and get a freak injury. And another thing as well, I just need to address before we start talking about games. Hopefully some of the other guys will join us. None of the linemen picked up Trey Lance when he was on the floor. No one went to help him up. If you watch that Josh Putnam, because he obviously runs the play, 2 or 3 times he was picked up by his lineman when he was knocked to the ground. And also when the injury happened, and bizarrely, and it's the first time I've seen it, and the guy didn't stop it on the point of impact, but his ankle was the wrong way, which it should have been. And I don't know whether he kind of straightened it or did something, but one of the linemen tried to pick him up then when his ankle was snapped. And I'm thinking, but none of his linemen were picking him up. That's because they don't like him. And that's all, and all that jazz is ridiculous. But it is going to be interesting to see where this team goes. Now, I still think 10 wins. I'm not going to change that just because Jimmy's in there, and I don't see why I should, because it's a tough schedule starting, obviously, Sunday or early hours of Monday. I couldn't book the day off, unfortunately, so I am going to be going into work on Monday, feeling really tired. But
that means you're going to be moonlighting.
shit,
It's a horrible feeling.
But it has to be done. I can't not watch. I've got to watch it. So, okay, let's get into the games on this week 3 of your NFL season. And we will start Saints Panthers even. That was last week. Tough. It was a tough watch last week. Winston, as I said Thursday, he's playing with something wrong with his back, and it showed. Some of his deep balls were woeful, didn't look good, and he apparently is listed as doubtful or questionable. Panthers, CMC, he's another player. They are actually a one-man team with him.
With CMC, they are, yeah.
Yeah, he goes down, they're in deep shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or he's bottled up. This could go either way, this game.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to pick the Panthers, believe it or not, because I don't think Taysom Hill is a great QB if he has to come in and actually play the role with if Winston goes down. They obviously don't have Sean Payton as the head coach anymore. I think that has a lot to do with it as well, because it's a totally different team this season from what I've seen than it was last year. Kamara's, again, is doubtful, I think, or questionable. He's still... And they do miss him. I don't think Mark Ingram can carry this team on his back. He's not built like that. He's getting up in age as well. There's not a lot really I can say about the Panthers apart from CMC. If Baker's kept in the pocket and moved around and he can't see clear throwing lanes, he starts to get flustered. And that's when he makes mistakes. And everyone knows it. The whole league know it.
Yeah, this is going to be a battle. I think this is going to be a battle of defenses, I think.
Because the Saints defense is still pretty good.
Saints defense is still pretty good. And guess what? I actually think so is the Panthers. The Panthers have a good pass rush. And their secondary is pretty stacked as well. I am going to go Carolina. But this is the last time I'm going to fucking have any faith in Baker Mayfield. He screwed up the first 2 games. This is the third time. Third time lucky. I will go Panthers.
As I said, as long as they can try and shut his throwing lanes down so he can't see clearly, the more they do that, the worse his play will be.
It's also a divisional game. It's a divisional game as well. So
would you say must win for the Panthers? Are we not that far? Are we still quite early in the season not to be calling those sorts of games?
I think the percentage is if the team goes 0-3 and 0-3 at the start of the season, they have an 18% chance of making the playoffs.
Right.
18, not 80, 18.
Well, I didn't think it was going to be 80.
No.
Okay, so
we got Panthers each.
Yeah. Now, we do like a toilet bowl game, and this could be one of them for the week. Texans at the Bears. Bears looked good in the monsoon, or Justin Fields looked okay. Last week, they didn't look that good against the Packers. Texans drew a game, which is very, very rare. It always makes me chuckle when I see a draw, because it's probably one of the hardest sports to actually draw, because they even give you overtime. Now, they probably could have been in like the 20th overtime. If that unlimited overtime rule still existed, they could probably still be playing now. And still,
they probably could. They probably could still be playing.
Texans looked okay last week, what I saw on offence. But this is another one.
Who did Texans play against last week? Sorry,
Who
did Texans play?
Week 2. Let's have a look. Who did they play? Texans. Where are
Broncos, wasn't it? It was the Broncos.
Yeah, and they only scored 9 points.
Yeah.
Broncos somehow scored 16.
Yeah.
Is there again? I still think it's a bit early for a lot of these teams to know who they are going to be. I like Davis Mills. I think he's a good QB. He's got a few weapons. I'm going to go with the Texans to get their first win. Based purely on, I'm not sold on the Bears.
I honestly don't know. I really honestly don't know about this because this is, as you said, this is what we'd call the shit bowl game. It's not very. It's in Chicago.
I bet you, though, as we go down, there'll be another contender for the shit bowl. There must be. There can't just be one game that you're going to think. Even I might consider watching Red Zone.
I mean, the Bears are -3.5. A -3. Sorry, so they're ahead by.
And they're at home.
No, at home. I'm going to go with the Bears. I'm going to take the Bears.
Okay, so I don't think we're going to see any lone wolves with just two of us. So,
hang on, you said Texans, didn't you?
Yes. So you can't because we split. So it's not really a lone wolf because
no, because no, we can't do lone wolves. Unfortunately,
can't do lone wolves.
Never mind. It's all right.
Chiefs, Colts. Now, we spoke in length about my guy, Matt Ryan, and his decline. I really can't see any other team but the Chiefs. I just want Matt Ryan to come out of it unscathed because he looked like an old man last week. And I think he's going to look even older this Saturday. Mahomes doing Mahomes things. The running game is really good. The defense is good. I mean, we could see a blowout, like 45 zip, possibly. Who knows?
It's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. Yeah, I've got the Chiefs in this one. The only thing I'll say is, because this is the NFL and shit happens in the NFL every single week, this is one of those games where pretty much 99.9% of all people will probably say Chiefs win this, they out-destroy the Colts. This could be one of those games where the Colts actually turn up and actually give the Chiefs a run for their money. But I don't see it, though. I don't see it.
I actually saw, let me see if it's still up here. Who's done this? Week 3 bold predictions. Colts upset the Chiefs. Darius Slay keeps balling with a pick 6. So who's written this? D'Angelo Hall, nonetheless.
He's on the NFL Network.
Yeah. Doesn't signal. Here we go. No, he just says they're going to... I can't. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way on planet Earth that the Colts, unless the whole of the Chiefs team gets replaced by clones, there's no way the Colts are going to beat the Chiefs. Not in a million years. And I know, obviously, they've got to come up with these hot takes, but I would say to D'Angelo to maybe wipe his nose before he goes back on set again, because I think some of that Colombian marching powder might still be around his nose when he made that pick.
Yeah, probably.
Now, this is a really juicy 6 o'clock game, and I'm really looking forward to this.
Go on.
Josh Allen versus Tua, terrible throwing motion via Galova. Now, both 2-0. Dolphins at home. Carl, who are you picking?
I don't want to pick this game because I fucking hate both these teams. If I got to say we have a chance of making a wild card, we need the Dolphins to drop games. So I know the Bills have got a couple of injuries to keep an eye on. Obviously, Micah Hyde is out. So it'll be down to their rookie corners to keep an eye on Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. So that's going to be an issue. I am going to go with the Bills. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. A high-scoring game, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout. So I'll take the Bills.
Yeah, I agree. First of all, I'm going to pick the Bills. And I agree. This could be one of those. Well, I say it could be. Actually, no, I don't think it could be a shootout. I think it might be a very cagey game. But again, when you look at the weapons that Tua has got, and he only needs to get in that rhythm that he did in the second half against the Ravens, and it could be a shootout in the second half, or the first half, the Bills come out and blow them away and then not worry about it.
Yeah,
and then they're playing catch up.
When the pass rush gets to Tua, yeah.
I think it's going to be a very good game. I'm actually quite looking forward to it. But I think the Bills will win by more than one score, because I honestly think that the Dolphins took what the Ravens in the end gave them, and I don't think the Bills are going to give them that same experience, shall we say, in the second half. I think they'll be disciplined all throughout, whereas the I don't know what happened. Again, did they all go and have a joint, cut the beers at half time? And I don't know. Cole, you saw it, right?
Yeah.
That was a collapse of epic proportions. It was, I've never seen anything like it. Bizarre. Now, the next game. My sneaky good team of Hard Knocks versus the Chocotron 5000, aka my friend Kirk Cousins. Now, that's your pathetic bloody Vikings thing again. I mean, to be fair, he's not in prime time this week, so we'll probably get 500 yards and 16 touchdowns and no interception.
It is a divisional game. It is against the Lions. This one I'm finding.
This is going to be, as you know, I'm going to have three screens up and running for the 6 o'clock games. This is going to be one of them, along with the Bills game as well. I haven't looked at the others yet to see where else I'm going. But can Kirk Cousins be that shit again? Can he? Is it possible? But
here's the thing: they're going up against when he went up against the Eagles on Monday Night Football, they were playing a really good defense, a good stout defense. The Lions have got a good pass rush, but they don't have a good secondary. You saw that in that game last week against Washington, where freaking Carson Wentz just went God mode.
The first half, Wentz was awful.
Yeah,
he was everything you expected him to be and more. And then again, their defense crumbled a little bit. If the pass rush doesn't get home, you're right. Their back end struggles, and they were making Carson Wentz look like Tom Brady in the old days. And that takes some doing to make Carson Wentz, he looked like a turd that was rolled in glitter all of a sudden, and he actually started making some throws, and it was weird. But I'm rolling with them Lions. This again, rolling until they do me the disservice of being really terrible and getting blown out by someone and make me question them. I'm still going with my boy, and I can't believe that I am still rolling with them. But yeah, that is definitely going to be one of the games I'm going to have on one of the screens. And I just did. I like Dan Campbell. I like the team. I like what they say. Believe it or not, they actually seem like they got their shit together this year, on and off the field, which is all you get. I mean, Washington have been disjointed for a lot of years, and there's always things coming out either on the field or off the field, and you kind of, or I forgot that Riverboat Ron is the coach, because it's not about him anymore. It's about the snidey owner and the this and that and stuff that's going on behind the scenes. And I totally forgot until I saw the highlights of that game, and you actually saw Riverboat Ron. I was like, shit, yeah, I forgot he was there. It's no, roar the Lions. Let's go. What do you reckon?
I'm going to take the Vikings in this. I think they'll bounce back.
Just had Laney come in. Hey guys, all by ourselves today. Yeah, pretty much. Where's Mr. Smug? He's got an extra shift at McDonald's. AKA, he's actually remembered he has his niece's soccer matches this morning. So he's at a soccer game rather than come on and be insulted by us. And thank you for the love. We love doing this show. So we love nice comments, and I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Sorry, Carl, you're going for the Vikings.
I'm going Minnesota. I think they'll have a bounce back game. That secondary is going to get tormented by Justin Jefferson in this game.
Well, that's if the Chocotron 5000 has enough time to throw the ball. And that Aiden Hutch, he does look special. He does look special.
I know he's special because he came out of the Michigan Wolverines, the team I support in the NCAA.
Talking of that,
he was just all over the map. He was just everywhere.
What college game do I need to put on and fall asleep to today? I thought I'd better ask this now before I forget.
There's 2 games on BT, right? The early Slater game, you got Clemson at Wake Forest, both seeded teams. Clemson seeded number 5, Wake Forest is seeded number 24, I think.
So that'll be a blowout to Clemson then.
Maybe, I don't know. Wake Forest are playing pretty decently, actually. They're undefeated, so this could be a good game. And then on the Harper State Slater games, you've got on one of the channels Florida Gators at the Tennessee Volunteers. Good opportunity to see Anthony Richardson play.
I might fall asleep to either one of those. Who knows? Right. Your Patriots versus the Ravens. Now, we obviously we did talk about the capitulation of the Ravens. If the script was reversed and it was the Patriots last week who were in that hole against the Ravens, if that happened this week, could you see the Pats coming back?
I'm still not completely sold on the offense as of yet. Now,
is that the QB or is that everything?
That's just everything.
Right.
That's just everything. It's difficult because the Ravens are banged up. Their secondary is completely destroyed. They don't really have a pass rush. You saw that against the Dolphins. They didn't really have a pass rush. This is going to be a case of if New England's defense can shut down Jackson, we have a chance of winning this game. But still be another low-scoring encounter. But it is in Foxborough. We're back at home. First home game of the season. The crowd's going to be up for it. And maybe going back home, going back to creature comforts, it might just galvanize this team. But we have to keep an eye on Lamar Jackson because he's going to be an absolute headache for us. I've got New England winning this game 24-21.
Interesting. I don't think the Ravens can be as bad as they were and as good as they were. I can't see them being that good in the first half and just disappear in the second half. They need a consistent game.
Reason why they won't do that is because they are going up against they're going against a proper defense. The fact that Miami just let that go, I think that was all down to Jackson. But I think, who are their main key players? Rashad Bateman going deep, Devon Duvernay, and Mark Andrews. That's really all the weapons that they have.
I mean, we know that Lamar can be a problem for anybody. Is he going to be afforded the holes that he got last one? I mean, that 77-yard touchdown and his speed. He was leaving safeties, corners, linebackers in his wake. I'm going to go Patriots purely based on what I saw last week.
Okay,
and that might be another good game. So that might be my third screen game because.
I said if we go 1-3 in the first 4 games of the season, I'll probably take that because it was a rough start. If we go 2-2 or 3-1, I'll bite your hand off for it because that puts us in good stead now because we have got a slate of games from weeks 5 onwards, which are actually quite winnable. So if we can come away with 2 wins in the first 4, I'll be delighted. We come away with 3 wins out the first 4, I'll be buzzing.
And obviously we know that they've got the hooded genius as their coach. But a lot of these
but they've also got Coach Pencil as their offensive coordinator. So.
Yeah. But they are still, Mac Jones is still trying to evolve and learn and move forward. And obviously they got rookies and stuff. It pains me to say it, but I think the Patriots will win. I don't think it's going to be high scoring. I also I think it's going to be a field goal. I think it's going to be a field goal game. And now this has the potential of being a possible shit bowl of the week. 0-2 Bungles versus the Jets, Jets, who both of them had, aberrations of good and bad luck last week. I don't know what the hell's going on with the Bengals. I don't know. I can't. Super Bowl hangover? Is that a thing?
Probably, but their offensive line is brand new and they're not gelling. They're not getting together. Any more hits in the pocket that Joe Burrow takes, and he'll be where he was 2 years ago on IR.
He is getting waxed and waxed a lot. But I think they're going 0-3. I really do.
Ooh. So you're taking
the Jets.
Taking the Jets. Oh.
They're going to pull a stunner, a stone cold stunner. And again, to me, and I know it does sound silly, and I am going to sound a bit daft, But I can see the Bungles getting beaten. I really can. Flacco looked half decent. Are you seeing Scott's picks, by the way, coming down the screen in the comments?
I'm keeping an eye on now. I know he's chosen the Ravens, which is absolutely predictable.
Ravens, Bungles, and the Niners. Well, that's put the kiss of death on the Niners already. Motherfucker. Who have you got from the Jets and the Bungles then, mate?
Oh, can both these teams get sucked into a black hole? Fuck the Jets. I'm taking us into that. Come on, they can't get any worse.
You never know, mate.
They really can't get any worse.
You never know. Now, the battle of the shithawks, I'm going to call this. The choking Raiders versus the Titans. Now, both are 0-2. Hunter Renfrew is out with concussion, I believe.
Yep, he's definitely out.
Sorry, I've got to put this up. He always... Oh, dear.
What, you mean this one?
It hasn't been, but if you sit on it, we won't see it. We won't even see the top of your headphones. The Ravens are way better than the Pats. See, he's getting his own back because we gave him the middle finger, and he gave us a shout out and showed us love on his show. And all we did is give him the middle finger, which he obviously did. Well, I told you he takes me. Raiders, Titans. I'm picking the Titans because I hate the Raiders. It's quite easy for me. I don't care, as you know. And I always go to type.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
This has potential to be, again, a blowout either way.
Yeah, but when the Raiders had a blowout last week, they fucking blew it. So,
which is always nice to see. Scott's gone for the Titans.
Yeah. I'll go Titans.
Okay.
I'll go Titans. They can't be any worse.
I know they got.
I know
that for the Raiders. Oh, that.
I know they got their organs ripped out by Buffalo, but it is Buffalo. Can't really do much about that. So
no, you can't. No, exactly. And if you're a fan going up against the Bills, unless you're, one of the top echelon teams, if you get away and have not been slammed 44-0 or 44-7, whatever the score was, you'd be kind of happy that they didn't just kill you, right? If you only lose by 3 or something like that, you got to be happy with that. Eagles, Commanders. Eagles by 14 for me.
Yeah.
I can't say anything good about the Commanders. And slowly but surely it's going to unravel for them, because yet again they've picked a QB that I personally don't think they should have taken. But that's my opinion. Just like I said, Cam Newton was done in the NFL and he was washed. I think Wentz is the same. Yeah, Eagles all the way for me. What about you, Carl?
Yeah, I'll take the Eagles. They look decent against Minnesota on Monday Night Football. They are coming off a bit of a short week, but I don't think it's going to problem it. I think you're going to get a lot of garbage time touchdowns from Wentz in the fourth quarter, but I think the Eagles will win this.
Yeah, Scott's gone for the Eagles as well.
Yeah.
Jags, Chargers.
Ooh.
I think even if Justin Herbert doesn't play, I think the Chargers will still have too much for this emerging Jags team. I think Doug Peterson is going to get a tune out of them on a few occasions this year. That defense looks good. But I just think even without, if Herbert plays and he's 50%, I still think it's going to be too much for
go.
the Eagles. So yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers.
I don't know.
I'm tempted.
The Jags defense is very underrated. Very underrated. And the Chargers as well. Remember, their center got injured in the Chiefs game and their right tackle got injured in the Chiefs game. And when they went down, Herbert went down with them. I don't know if Lindsay and the other right tackle, I can't remember who it is now. I don't know if they're back in or not. I'll have to check on their injury report. I am going to take the Chargers, but I think the spread was something like -6.5. I wouldn't take the spread. I think the Jags will make it closer and will invite.
No, I certainly don't. I don't think it's going to be. I wouldn't have taken the spread on that.
Yeah.
NFC West divisional game. I don't give a shit who wins this. Couldn't care because I hate them.
Is it at Rams or at
Cardinals? I am pushing this. I'm not picking a winner because I don't care.
So you're taking a tie?
I'm taking the tie. If Scott's gone for the Chargers. If I had to pick one, I would pick, and don't put this down as me picking them because I hate them both. I would have picked the Cardinals purely because it's hilarious when the so-called overrated Rams lay an egg. But I don't care who. I'm going for a draw. Couldn't give a shit. What about you?
Oh Jesus! This Rams team almost recreated 28-3. And the Cardinals, they had no business coming back against the Raiders. So these are two very flawed teams right now. I am going to take the Rams only because the Rams defense is better than the Cardinals. So I will take the Rams.
And it was really weird. The other day I was walking down the high street and I saw this little bloke in a Cardinals uniform with loads of people chasing him and they couldn't catch him. And I think that was that play still. It's probably still going on. In some bizarre universe, Kyler Murray is still running away from the Raiders on that 2-point conversion or whatever it was. That's probably one of the... I need to time that play and see how long he was running around like a headless chicken before.
I think it was around about 20. I think it was around about 20 odd seconds. I think it was
madness, absolute madness. I've never seen anything like that. Scott's gone for the Rams.
Yeah. Scott needs to give us picks for the Saints game, the Texans game, the Vikings Lions game, and what was the fourth game that we picked? I can't remember what it was now. I need to
fourth.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Bills Dolphins.
Oh, Bills Dolphins. Oh, obviously. So we need your picks for those, Scott. But we'll continue.
This has got the potential to be a shit fest in the 9:25 slot. Falcons 0-2 versus the Sea Chickens, who are 1-1, obviously.
Battle of the Birds.
Obviously, watching the Seahawks firsthand, how they beat the Broncos, God only knows. Because Gino is an awful QB. It's awful. Fish whisperer, do tell them not to bite. Oh, he's coming through with his next ones. I don't know. It's going to be the Falcons for me because I can't pick the Sea Chickens ever. I don't care if the Falcons were 0-13. I'm not picking the Sea Chickens anyway.
So you're taking the Falcons.
Yep.
I'll take the Falcons as well. I think Mariota's going to have a good game. In this one.
Well, he flashed a few good throws.
Yeah, and he's got good connections with Drake London as well. So, I know. Let's see what happens from there. But yeah, I've got the Falcons taking this. The matchup, Scott. You got Saints at Panthers, Texans at Bears, and Lions at Vikings. Those are the last 3 games you haven't picked, and then we're all up to date.
Packers, Bucks.
Ooh.
Buccaneers at home, 2-0. Packers 1-1. I think the cannons are going to be firing more than the Packers. I think it's going to be a close game. I know a lot of it is going to be made up because it's obviously Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady, etc., and it'll be the whatever bowl they decide to call it. But I'm going Buccaneers. I still think that the Packers have got to find themselves a bit more. They lost more than the Buccaneers did in the off-season. So, yeah, Bucks for me.
This is close. This is so tight. Remember, Mike Evans is suspended. Julio Jones is out injured. I don't know who are their receivers that Brady's got to throw to. Is he going to dump it off to Leonard Fournette all game?
He'll find someone that you've never heard of, and he'll have his one and only game.
Oh, no. I forgot. They signed Cole Beasley to the practice squad. So there you go. He's got his own Julian Edelman version.
He's got,
basically.
Scott's going through with some more in the comments. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah. He's got Saints over the Panthers. He's got the Bears over the Titans. Sorry, no, Bears over the Texans, beg your pardon. And he's got for the Vikings over the Lions. He's also gone for the Raiders to go over the Titans.
I don't know. How can you pick the Chocotron 5?
Oh, hang on. No, he hasn't. I don't think he has. Has he? I've got to scroll up now. Yeah, he chose the Titans. It's fine. It was Lafayette that actually made the comment there. Okay, so
are you going for Packers? Bucks?
I'll take the Bucks only because they're at home. And their defense is suffocating.
Packers versus the Buckers there for some reason. The Bucker fuckers. Lot 2 games to go. The 2-0 G-men, Big Blue. What is going on there? Versus the 1-1 Cowboys. Now, I wonder who I'm going to pick.
Oh, God.
The G-men. Even though Daniel Jones isn't very good, but he's being micromanaged to not lose the game.
He is being micromanaged.
But yeah, for me, the G-men.
I will take the Cowboys. I think Cooper Rush did a fairly good job against the Bengals last week. Yeah, I'll go Dallas.
Okay. Hang on. He's changed it to the Titans. He says no. Or is that New Orleans? I don't know. It's either N-O as in no or N-O as in New Orleans. I don't know. Titans and the Packers. He's already picked the 49ers. It's obvious who I'm going to pick. And I think this is going to be the game where the 49ers finally get their monkey off their back where the little pipsqueak is concerned. And I think they hold him to under 200 yards passing, no passing touchdowns, and about 32 rushing yards. Niners will win unspectacularly by 3 points, possibly more, 7 at the most. And I just want to win. Just win, baby. I'm not interested in how they look. Obviously, I want the defense to be and become what they can become, and obviously live up to the potential of a top 3 defense. I don't think. I mean, they did flash last week. Well, they have in both weeks, to be fair.
They have, yeah, they have. But
the pass rush finally got home a few times last week. Obviously, we got a couple of picks. We had one taken off the board as well. But let's be honest, it was Geno last week. I know you can only play the team you're in front of, etc. But again, he's not mobile like Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, etc., etc. So they need a stiff test. Do I think the Broncos will give them a stiff test on offense? I think it'll be a fair test. I'm more interested to see how the 49ers offense game plan goes up against this quite good Broncos defense for me. I think this is going to be quite an interesting matchup. But yeah, I'm going for the Niners. I don't care if it's pretty. I don't care if Jimmy G hands the ball off 4,000 times and they win by 2 points or even a point. I don't care. I just want to get that win. That's all I'm bothered about.
I think the key matchup I'm looking at right now is it's a linebacker, Randy Gregory for the Broncos going up against the right tackle, Mike McGlinchey. I think that's going to be one of the key battles in order to keep Jimmy G on his feet. There's no way that Gregory is going to go on the left side to try and pass rush Trent Williams because you're not going to get to the quarterback that way. Mike McGlinchey is a weak piece in that offensive line.
Well, to be fair, he hasn't done too. He played a lot better last week than he did the previous week. He's very good in the running game, but he's not so great
in the passing game, and that's where
in the passing game. But then you look at the other 2 rookies that are out there. I thought they played well. Spencer Burford, they did all right. But yeah, that's going to be that to me. The 49ers offense, obviously including the offensive line, is going to be the important thing this year, this week. But yeah, no, it's going to be an interesting game. And as I say, I don't care if we run the ball 45 times, as long as we win. I don't care. I don't care at all. So, who did you pick a team to win?
I'm taking the Niners, but I think this is a trap game. I looked at the schedule. I think this is a trap game. I expect the 49ers to win, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Broncos actually got their shit together, or either Daniel Hackett got his shit together and actually made some play calling, which is like, oh, okay, he is a decent play caller. This is one of those games where it could very, very easily turn on its head. And if that crowd gets going, it's very, very hard to hear. And you're up in altitude. You're up in the gods as well. Altitude. So
we have a god looking like QB now with that chin, so it doesn't matter. 13-3 because we've got Jimmy G. That was the chant in 2018. Don't think it's going to be. I still think it's going to be 10 wins. It's going to be interesting though. Any final thoughts before we get out of here? Obviously, when it's just myself and Carl, the shows are a lot shorter. Thank fuck for that. A lot of people will be saying in the background. We've gone just over an hour and a quarter, but yeah, we've picked all the games. Any final thoughts before we get up out of here, Carl?
Final thoughts. I hope for a victory over the Ravens. I hope the 49ers get the victory over the Broncos. I like to hope that the Bills and the Dolphins will knock 7 shades of shit out of each other in their game so they could all be injured. And fuck Russell Wilson. And fuck the Cowboys. So
See some of my influences rubbing off on you. My final thoughts.
Oh, I got one final thought. Gareth Southgate needs to be fucking fired.
Yeah, but to be honest, mate, the whole Nations League thing is a joke, and I don't know why people are getting their panties in a twist, because, again, it means nothing, right? Come the World Cup in 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whenever it is.
Yeah, not long at all. Not long at all.
9 and 6. Shut up. It doesn't matter. If they could get to the quarterfinal, semi-final, they could actually win it, and then no one will give a shit about the Poxy Nations League. I didn't watch it. I even forgot it was on. I saw the Italian goal. It was very, very good. Shit defending, but he took the ball.
It was shit defending. We would have assumed, Scott, you would have chosen the Chiefs. Hence the fact why I didn't announce this game.
Yeah. No. I think, Carl, we should put, as he didn't answer it, I think we should put him down as a Colts win, just for shits and giggles, because that'd be funny. That'd teach him to go to soccer games and not come on here, you see. That's the forfeit.
I mean, we could put him down as a... But, you know...
But he already knows he's that. My final thoughts. I hope to see some good games. Obviously, I am only going to watch a 6 o'clock window, because I will then be going to bed, as I have to get up at a stupid o'clock and then work the next day. I'm so looking forward to Monday. And long as they win, my day will be fine. And then I should probably be tucked up in bed by about 7 o'clock Monday night to catch up on the sleep I lost. Hopefully there's no more big injuries or anything else like that this weekend. I'm just so glad football's back. And you know what? I can't believe it's week 3 already. And soon we'll be like, it's week 10. It's week 17. And it's all over again. And you think 18 weeks is a long time, but when the ball starts rolling,
it goes very, very quickly. It's a very short sport to follow, but
it is very strange.
It is filled with so much excitement and so much drama every single week. You get shock upsets, you get breaking news which no one expects of. You know, you get conspiracy theories, you get hot takes which are absolutely which age about as well was gone off milk by the end of the season. That's what the NFL is. It is the greatest entertainment sport in the world.
It is. And sometimes you can't script it.
No.
It's weird. But anyway, we will be back dependent on what we're doing. We could be doing a midweek show. So if you aren't following, subscribing, and liking this, please do so. So when we do, and if we do a midweek show, your notifications will come on to let you know we're going live. If not, we will be back same time, same place next Saturday, 2:30 UK time, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. I think I got that right.
You got that right, I think.
Who knows? Thanks to Laney, Scott, Lafayette, who came in late. Thanks for the comments of the show. We really appreciate it. Thank you for watching. So I've got my games to fall asleep to tonight. In the college game, I probably will fall asleep halfway through the first one and then wake up and think, what did I miss? And then probably didn't miss anything. But it's football, right? Doesn't matter. Pre-game's quite funny for college games. So that's quite enjoyable, especially when the crowd are so hyped and they're not drinking. So they must be on something to get them that excited. And I don't think it's being on national TV. But anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget, follow us on Twitter, Carl's KB Sports 31. I'm at Shank Club NFL. I'm not at Jimmy G Smile. I might have to change it depending on what happens this week. I might be Jimmy G's handoff next week. Who knows? Or Jimmy G's interception. We wait to find out. But thanks for all watching. We will see you again very soon. Have a good week. Stay safe, everyone. And we will see you soon. Thanks for tuning in. Take care, guys.